Like, it's already bad enough you don't do shit. But the one time you're gonna do something, you gonna violate? What the fuck? What the fuck? Shooters, niggas don't really be shooters. Shit go left, I know how to maneuver. I can get bread on the block of computers. I ain't bulletproof, but I'm up first. I'm too paranoid, I don't be trusting. We here. Jersey, nigga. New Jersey. We here with another fucking reaction. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, bro. I'm not feeling that good. But I was going to say, fuck it. I'm gonna just lay down, talk for a little better, and do these vids. But honestly and truly, cause like I said, we locked in, bro. About to pop a holes. And we gonna get right into this shit, man. I'm gonna still give y'all energy. Show y'all, bro, we here, bro. Ain't no reason for me to be taking no rest right now. Anyways, nigga, we trying to get to 1,000 subs, bro. So if you here and you've been here, maybe you see me more than once. You know what I'm saying? You just stopped by. And you ain't subscribed yet? Subscribe, nigga. You feel me? Invest in the plot early, man. It's only gonna get better, bro. We just calm right now. We just calm, get in the flow. I ain't even gonna be yapping too long, man. Let's just get into the video, bro. A brutal humiliation of a mid-tier comedian. A video by Patrick CC. I fuck with Pat. I fuck with his videos. Let's get into this shit, man. I haven't reacted to something about Akaash since, well, what is it, the last video I did on him? Let's see what's going on now, bro.
Of the entire world and does not know how to make it stop. Akaash Singh is mostly known as being the sidekick to Andrew Schultz on the Flagrant podcast. His wife Jazelene recently started creating content that many feel is shocking or distasteful coming from a married woman.
Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. So for context, I went to college from 2011 to 2016. I was popping my and living my best life in these white boy frat houses, and I had a roster of guys.
I remember this shit that pissed me off, man, when I seen it the first time, because it came right after a clip of this nigga saying that he was just glad that his wife didn't have any sexual partners. It was like an immediate contradiction. But hey, my shorty.
Guys that I would rotate.
This is not a two-way street. This is a one-way street. His money is our money, and my money is my money.
And if you think those clips are bad, trust me, it gets so much worse. Like when she expressed how badly she wanted to sleep with her co-host's husband.
Would y'all ever have an orgy together with your husband? Priya,
She tried.
I'm actively trying to have an orgy because this couple is with your husband. Priya, I'm actively trying to have an orgy because this couple is so good looking and you haven't seen Nav yet, but wait till you fucking see him.
Maybe.
I just know that Nav's dick is like at
What the fuck? Why are we talking about this? Is he not supposed to be like married or something? Is that like the Akaash nigga is her husband, right? Why are we talking about this? And is this even supposed to like be like some kind of joke? This isn't even funny. What's the punchline? Shit is mad crazy.
Influence she may have on couples, she calls them incel red pillars. Then again, it's somewhat understandable considering sometimes the right message can come from the wrong messenger, because Akaash was actually warned by the Fresh and Fit podcast that he was going to find himself in this exact type of situation. In the early 2020s, there was a digital uprising of self-proclaimed alpha males who claimed their traditional views of masculinity were directly conflicting with mainstream liberal ideologies. Guys like Myron Gaines Gaines and Walter Weeks of the Fresh and Fit podcast got viral attention talking about traditional gender roles, relationship dynamics, and what being a real man is. And even though Akaash and Andrew host a comedy podcast, they often dabble in more serious, broader social commentary, which led to them inviting on the Fresh and Fit guys to discuss some of their views on masculinity and relationships, many of which Akaash disagreed with. He was particularly bothered by this phrase or relationship philosophy that Fresh and Fit used that said, pimp or be pimped.
One person in the relationship, whoever cares less.
I don't agree with everything like Myron and the other nigga be saying, bro. But it just be like, it's one of those niggas, like, I ain't gonna lie, I feel like if people are like 100%, I ain't gonna say honest, but 100% just like free will. They're just gonna say whatever's on their mind, whatever they believe, whatever. I feel like after a while, it's gonna get to a point that everybody just doesn't agree with what the people are saying. Because that's the reason why you have socially accepted, like, you feel me, statements and socially accepted standards. Because it's like, there's one thing, some people might even agree with you, but it's just like, yo, they're not willing to go and publicly side with you on that because it's such a, like, what's the word, unpopular standard or unpopular stance. You feel me? But something like that, I guess generalizing in a term like that, pimp or be pimped, in his situation, that is literally what's happening. You get what I'm saying? That's literally what's happening. Shawty's saying his money is her money is her money. Meanwhile, supposed to be married to this nigga and openly talking about wanting to fuck another man. Not even just another man, but her friend's man. What the fuck? Like, was that supposed to be like rage bait? Because it got me pissed off.
Always care less.
We want the man to always have the leverage.
Childish as
And you guys might not like hearing that.
Childish.
But we truly feel.
I'm not. These aren't new beliefs, bro. You're not telling me some shit none of us have ever heard. We all heard this from fraternity guys in college. I'm saying there's room in and I don't have a problem with a lot of the stuff you say. I just think there is room for growth. And you guys' refusal to acknowledge it almost kind of proves it to me, confirms it to me that you guys are not willing to grow right now. And that's fine. That's some ego shit.
Throughout the pod, Andrew seemed to have no problem having a serious, calm conversation about someone else's worldview despite not fully agreeing with it. But Akaash was clearly much more upset with what they were saying. Most of the podcast, it didn't feel like he was listening, but rather just waiting for his turn to speak and assert his own personal philosophy on dating. However, Fresh and Fit were mostly known to say outlandish and straight up disrespectful things about women on a regular basis. So most people naturally sided with Akaash's view of equity and equality in relationships, as well as understood his general frustration towards these guys. What we would later discover is that the reality of Akaash's own personal relationship reflected the exact situation that Fresh and Fit were trying to warn him about, as unfiltered girl talk, and sells itself as being for the ones who live life like the plot revolves around them, because it does. This description on the surface,
What the fuck does that shit even mean?
description is extremely accurate. Two women who think they're the main characters of the world talking about themselves with absolutely no filter. One comment that stood out in this episode was where Jazelene discusses her and her husband's finances.
Man that doesn't want to have a joint bank account or isn't being transparent with his accounts or has separate accounts, that's a red flag. And I will say it again because I know there's going to be already like incel troll mother. This is not a two-way street. This is a one-way street. His money is our money and my money is my money. And look.
I thank God every single fucking day that I did not end up with somebody this fucking retarded. Did you, like... Alright, bro. You know what? Let me not let it get me too tight, bro. Of course you can see. Yes.
Have I only made $600 from content creating?
Wow, it went up $100 from last week.
But that's my money, okay? So just so we're clear, no, that's actually a red flag because I know so many girls in my life personally that have been with guys that weren't transparent about money and they ended up being terrible in other aspects and like people ended up breaking up in divorces, et cetera, et cetera. So that is actually my number one. They must be generous
for
with
any
their
reason.
finances from day one.
For context, Jazelene is not a celebrity by any means. She does not have a job of her own and has only been able to build her internet following thanks to her husband supplementing her lifestyle. And this is not a dig at her at all. She talks about this a lot in her content, and some even think she brags about it.
Okay, hi, my name is Jazelene, and these are things that I do as a stay-at-home wife. Or sorry, I don't do. I don't cook, I don't clean, and I don't do my husband's laundry. I feel that I don't have to do things to justify or prove my worth that
But she also frequently posts day in my life videos where she romanticizes her routine of doing essentially nothing all day long.
I actually do this. I just do this. Like, I sit here. This.
Now, if this is the agreement this couple has in their relationship, then that's fine. It is what it is. Being a stay-at-home wife or mother is absolutely nothing to be ashamed of, but it's the aggressive tone and entitlement she gives off that has earned her the label of a gold digger, something that she subtly...
That is exactly what I was going for, though, too. Because honestly and truly, I want the same thing for my girl in the future if I come up on the same exact kind of wealth. But to not have any intention at all to get your own shit, and then now that you bragging about it, what the fuck? What the fuck? That's crazy to me.
implies to be.
Now, like, people are like, oh, that's gold digging or that's something. No, it's not.
Okay, then I'm digging.
Yeah.
If that wasn't bad enough, Jazelene frequently discusses other men that she would like to cheat on her husband with.
I never watched that show, but like, he's on my hall pass list.
Oh, yeah.
Chase Crawford, Jacob Elordi, Austin Butler.
Now, some people see the whole celebrity crush thing as unserious because the celebrity feels so distant, so unreachable, that it's basically the same thing as fantasizing about a fictional character. Like, it's not really cheating because in their minds the situation is so unrealistic that it becomes harmless. About sleeping with other famous men, she quite literally admitted to wanting to sleep with her co-host husband, Nav.
Would y'all ever have an together with your husbands?
Rhea, I'm actively trying to have an because
actively in the current moment.
This couple is so good looking, and you haven't seen Nav yet, but wait till you see him. His body goes crazy. His face card always slays, never declines. And it's kind of weird because I'm talking about your husband.
No, I kind of love it, but I'm like, us four? Okay, maybe.
I just know that Nav's dick is like at least 10 inches.
You would only be down for an orgy if we
or
did
it's
it.
thick. It's thick.
The original question was a joke about all four of them sleeping together. However, Jazelene only talks about Nav and never mentions her own husband, even excluding him from the hypothetical and talking about a three-person situation. Nahal...
That's what I was saying, because her shorty tried to slip it in with a laugh. She tried to slip it in like, oh yeah, you know, that'd be crazy, like the four of us. No, this bitch is trying to fuck your man with you. She don't want her man involved. Hey, bro.
clearly attempts to steer the conversation back to the dynamic being four people to respect Akaash, while Jazelene continues to fantasize about Nav. Once again, you could argue that Jazelene is just joking. When you joke about something over and over again, especially in a short period of time, you start to wonder if there's a little bit of truth to that. Even while talking about her husband in a positive light, Jazelene can't help but imply that Nav is a better husband than her own. To make matters worse, only minutes later in the podcast, they bring their husbands on, where Akaash is forced to sit next to the man his wife was just fantasizing about having sex with, and she once again brings up having a threesome with Nahal and Nav while Akaash is sitting right there.
I'm a hustler who scams a little bit. I'm not a scammer who hustles.
I'm not gonna lie, that was sexy, and that's why I'm actively trying to have an orgy.
Even at the end of the episode, Jazelene wants...
Bro, this bitch is easy. Ain't no fucking way she going that easily, bro. This nigga just said like some... Domestic violence is never the answer, man. It's crazy though. This shit is insane, bro. In the nigga face too.
Again, completely unprovoked, states that she wants to sleep with Nav.
On the main character pod, we love you, we hate you,
I guess
we respect
we
you.
love you, but I actually love you in one of all of you.
You would be hard-pressed to make a compelling argument that Jazelene is only joking when she brought up this topic multiple times. And when we get to hear from Akaash directly about his perspective of their relationship, you almost get this sense of relief from him that he finally can express how he really feels about Jazelene's behavior.
When she's running 2 hours late to a dinner reservation that I worked really hard to get, and then I'm like, baby, we're running late, and she's like, are you kidding me? Do you know? I don't give a if we're late to this dinner. They're lucky to have us. And I'm like, oh, that's what we're doing. #1 restaurant in the New York Times. You know how hard a reservation
she's like, call them right now. Call them right now. This is not a fun session.
I'm not even joking. This is
That being the main character means being as entitled and rude as possible, with no regard for anyone else's personal feelings. Stories like these demonstrate that Jazelene's selfish demeanor isn't just played up for laughs on a podcast, but exists within her real life as well. Akaash comes off visibly frustrated when talking about his wife's toxic behavior, turning it into a therapy session for him where he can finally let out his pent-up rage.
When I say I'm tired, she can't just let me be tired. I travel, I work, and I'm very blessed to do what I do.
He also
I
has
work
really bad insomnia.
I have
It's
really
like a
bad
known
insomnia.
thing.
I work 335 days a year. I'm so blessed to do what I do. This is not a complaint. But when I tell my wife I'm tired, I want her to say, I'm sorry, baby. I understand. That must be exhausting, buying me all these things. Instead, she goes, so am I. And if I dare open my mouth to go, what the did you do that made you tired? Now it's a problem. Now it's a fight. So I gotta sit there.
I went to Pilates.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Hole.
Now, there definitely is a humorous delivery to the story that Akaash is telling, but it does seem to be rooted in genuine problems he has with his relationship. Jazelene displays an extremely selfish and entitled mindset, both on the podcast and in their real life. Are we really meant to believe that all of this is just funny, just jokes? Well, ironically, that's basically how Akaash justifies putting up with this behavior.
It's adorable when she does these things. Yeah. Like, I just look at it and here's the rule in our marriage. It's been unspoken, but now we're just saying it now that we're both making content. If it's funny, we're good. Like, if it's funny, and if it's not funny and it hurt the other person's feelings, you apologize, you move on.
Any logical person understands.
So what the fuck was funny about her saying she wanted to fuck your best friend? What the fuck? That shit made you chuckle a little bit? What the fuck? I just said if it's funny, then it's good. If it hurts somebody, so because it don't, bro.
This is an extremely slippery slope, because literally anything can be passed off as a joke or an attempt to make a joke. Like this video she posted to TikTok where you can hear them both chuckling from time to time, but it's clear they are both frustrated and quite literally just documenting themselves having an argument.
Do you know what my husband just tried to do to me?
Yeah.
We're leaving. Shut up. We're leaving in Paris in 5 hours, so tensions are a little high. Yeah. We also just redid our closet.
This is all her closet now. She took the whole closet.
Which we already agreed upon. I don't have space for all my... I don't have space for... Can you show?
Yeah.
I don't have space for all my Indian suits because I like my dresses spaced out. Do you know what Akaash just did?
Here you go. Watch this. Oh my God.
I'm not doing
Look how
that.
Space exists.
I'm not doing that.
So what do you want to do? You want to buy a separate house with all hanger space?
No.
In another video, she documents her being stressed out about packing for a lavish vacation in the wealthiest area of America, which is only a 3-hour drive from their apartment.
Okay, so me and my husband are supposed to leave tonight to go to the Hamptons for 2 weeks, and I haven't even packed anything yet. So I was just like, I'm really stressed. Like, I don't want to go tonight because I still have to pack. I haven't even started. I have to finish my laundry.
Really? I know this is a really hard day. What did you do again?
Oh, today?
Yeah.
I had a mani-pedi.
Oh, wow, that's so stressful.
Wait, and I had a massage.
It's how stressful to go to the Hamptons for 2 weeks. Oh, the Hamptons, Hawaii.
Akaash puts up with Jazelene's selfish behavior.
I think her and and Jordan need to be in the exact same line, bro. They need like free mental evaluations, bro. This shit, like, unless, like I said, like, bro, this is like shit that somebody would say to rage bait, but you can like tell she like wholeheartedly believes this shit. How could you have so much, like, such a lack of respect for your partner?
An entitlement because he thinks they are just cute jokes, but it clearly isn't just jokes. Jazelene even says that Akaash's birthday is her least favorite day of the year because it's the only day she can't be mean to him.
Okay, May the 4th is Akaash's birthday. And
May the 4th be with you.
Yes.
Yeah, and every year I dread it because I have to be nice the whole day, and I have to get him something, and I have to also be nice and do like acts of kindness.
She's really not okay with it.
She said that twice?
She's really not okay with it.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, it's really hard.
For her, it's really hard.
For me.
She needs to just,
Listen, I'm just used to being treated like a princess all day, every day, so that one day that I don't.
Oh, what torture.
Yeah.
Akaash is the Indian Will Smith. Bro, Akaash married the girl Fresh and Fit warned you not to marry. She's the embodiment of what Fresh and Fit said to avoid. Akaash's rejection of Fresh and Fit's ideology now looked more like a defensive response born out of insecurity, considering her previous comments about her cheating on her husband, the unapologetically consumerist lifestyle that he funds, and the clear unsettling tension she has with Akaash made many question what her true motives were in the relationship. Many viewed Jazelene as a gold digger who had no actual emotional or romantic tie to the man that she married, and these sentiments would only grow stronger as people took notice of a very strange pattern of behavior, that being her tendency to avoid kissing Akaash, and even straight up dodging his kisses when he tries to initiate.
I don't know.
She's a good liar.
Then she's a good liar.
That's a friend that lies for you and not to you.
And this was not just a one-time occurrence. Entire compilations have been created showing just how often Jazelene avoids kissing her own husband. To make matters worse, not only did she dodge a kiss from Akaash during their marriage proposal, but she also dodged his kiss a second time when he proposed to have their vows renewed. But Jazelene says it's nothing more than her being uncomfortable with public displays of affection.
I'll also respond to the people saying I don't like my husband because I turned away from a kiss. I've never liked PDA, physical touch. I find it really overstimulating. And so it's something I actually work through with my husband because that's his love language.
Now, having issues with PDA are extremely common. However, it is worth considering all of the other things Jazelene has no problem doing on camera. She's constantly talking about sex on her podcast and on her TikTok, not to mention the fact that she posted an entire video where she is clearly not wearing any pants, getting treatment for a bruise she got during sex. And as if it couldn't get worse, she also flirts with the doctor.
Also, I heard you're single. Is that true?
We'll go back to treatment.
So she has no problem posting herself having very graphic conversations, half-naked videos of herself, and flirting with other men, but she draws the line at giving her own husband a kiss. Just doesn't really make sense. Not only did Jazelene look extremely shady, it now seemed like she was perfectly comfortable with lying about her relationship to make herself look better. And it turns out she wasn't just lying to her small audience, she was also lying to her own husband as well. Now, Jazelene constantly claiming that she has main character energy is particularly interesting. This is supposed to mean that you are liberated from others' judgment and confident in yourself. But for some, saying you have main character energy is just an acceptable way to admit that you are a narcissist. And narcissists tend to lie about everything, which is why many refused to believe Jazelene when she said that she was a virgin before meeting Akaash. Akaash has previously stated.
And when did they meet? Because like, she really claimed that she was a virgin before they met? So they did not meet before college? Nah, not even, man. Boy, not even, man. Not even. That shit don't make no goddamn sense. You was over here fucking a bunch of frat niggas in college. When did she meet Akaash, bro? The $1 million question, man. The $1 million question. But it's already like nobody believe it anyway. She's like a walking contradiction.
And Jazelene were both virgins before they met.
My wife also hadn't had any sex. partner, so that helped us connect a lot more.
Now, let me ask you this: do you believe her?
If you've seen her, then it's hard to believe. Yeah. I remember I was just like, what?
Jazelene, in a separate podcast, made the same statement.
I was at the point where I was ready, because I don't know if you told her, because I was.
Oh no, I didn't know you were a virgin too.
So I was a virgin too when I met him.
However, posts made by Jazelene herself tell a completely different story, like the one where she reminisces on the days she spent in college, passing herself around to other men.
Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. So for context, I went to college from 2011 to 2016. I was popping my and living my best life in these white boy frat houses, and I had a roster of guys that I would rotate.
Now, technically, she doesn't say that she was sleeping with them, but it is heavily.
Man, come on. Pat trying to give us some little leeway. Yeah. I'm pretty sure virgins just brag about, you know what I'm saying, rotating niggas, and that's just happening in college. Not high school, not middle school. In college. In college, nigga. Grown adults. You're not going for that shit, bro. She was getting fucked. What the fuck? Tossed and flipped.
Implied. And despite many feeling like they caught her in a lie, she surprisingly doubled down in a response to the criticism, claiming that she did in fact lose her virginity to Akaash. Even though Jazelene has disabled the comments on her social media, preventing anyone from criticizing her on her own page, she still sees the backlash, and her justification for acting the way she does online just makes everything so much worse. Jazelene has made a few public responses on her TikTok where she claims that she is being cancelled, which is funny because she has nothing to be canceled from. She has no show to be fired from, no brand deal to lose, no job, no platform that.
But that's the main character thing she was talking about, though. Like you said, it's the delusion. You over here just want to be like involved in some kind of motherfucking culture. You're saying, oh yeah, I think I'm getting canceled. No, this is the most a lot of people have heard about you, other than the last time when it was just something negative. You was never positively put on to even be canceled. What the fuck? Am I bugging? Like, the first time I heard about it, it was nothing positive. I've never heard nothing positive about this nigga wife, bro.
That anyone could realistically take away from her. In the last few years, cancel culture has become such a buzzword that people will use as a shield against any form of criticism. If an influencer or celebrity frames their criticism as, oh, they're just trying to cancel me, a certain group of viewers will immediately jump to their defense without doing any research. They hear the word cancel and assume it's just another example of people online trying to ruin someone's life for no reason, but just blurt out all of this stuff about her relationship for the internet, and she's being criticized for it. It's that simple. But she mostly chalks up all the negative attention to just coming from red pillars and incels trying to cancel her because she doesn't fit the traditional wife role.
When you're a simple little boy, it just breaks their brain that a girl can like just be loved for simply existing. My husband loves me for simply existing. I don't have to cook or clean to justify my worth.
Now, nobody is saying that she
He probably about to say that, but it's not. See, and that's the thing. Like, it's not about him. No one thinks he doesn't love you. It's actually on a different, blind, stupid level. You feel me? No one's saying that. You are but you like consciously saying that you know that while still publicly disrespecting a nigga like this. Like, it's already bad enough you don't do shit. But the one time you're gonna do something, you gonna violate? What the fuck? What the fuck?
to cook and clean and fit some 1950s idea of a trad wife to have value. The issue is that publicly romanticizing other men, joking about cheating, and openly fantasizing about life before your husband isn't empowerment, it's disrespect. It's not about gender roles, it's about basic partnership and companionship. And her mentality and behavior influencing others is potentially harmful to relationships or even single people all around the world. Her second response came a few days later, after people had thoroughly scrubbed through her digital footprint. Jazelene should have realized at this point that it was more than just incels coming after her, but she does make an interesting point about the criticism she was receiving.
Why are you mad if me and my husband are cool with each other, if we both make jokes at each other's expense? The difference is my husband will go on stage and say whatever the he wants about me. No one has anything to say. It's like, oh my God, it's so funny, it's so relatable. But then I come on TikTok and I make jokes and now you have a problem because I don't have a mic in my hand?
Ironically, yes. If she did have a microphone in her hand, it would be way different. If she was trying to make it as a stand-up comic and her material focused around her being a gold digger or cheating on her husband, people would likely assume that she's being self-deprecating and not to take her as seriously. Because when you are on stage with a mic, people understand that it is a form of performance art that was thought about, written, practiced, and perfected over time. But she isn't selling herself as a comedian. Her podcast is branded as Unfiltered Girl Talk, which implies that Jazelene is offering her honest thoughts and feelings while present. Not to
She's talking about getting canceled with 2,000 subs? What the fuck? You are not the main character.
Not to mention that the same things she tries to pass off as jokes, she also attempts to justify as valid opinions she genuinely has. Also, her TikTok is quite literally a behind-the-scenes look at her real life and real dynamics with her husband. She is picking and choosing what should be considered as jokes and what is serious to, again, deflect criticism. This is likely the exact same thing she does to Akaash in their personal relationship, which is why he doesn't even realize he is being disrespected and humiliated. Akaash certainly complains about his relationship while doing stand-up.
My wife is objectively gorgeous. Me? No. So that's what you gotta do. I gotta work my ass off, and then every time she starts looking at me and she starts assessing my beauty, I just throw a bag at that. Chest pass! I'm telling you, ladies, if you have a good guy, do you know what he needs? A vacation. You hear it all the time. A relationship is hard work. Marriage is a job. Well, every good job gives you 2 weeks vacation. And if you have a good man, I promise you I know what his dream vacation is. Because every good guy's dream vacation is your vacation. Go somewhere. Go anywhere you want.
But in a more personal setting, like a podcast for example, Akaash is significantly more graceful when talking about his wife.
She just says everything she's feeling at whatever moment. It's done. She just tells me when she's pissed off at me. It just all comes out. It took me a while to appreciate that because initially I'm like, why are you so combative? What's this about? God damn, stop fighting with me all the time. And then I was like, oh no, she just lets it out and she's free. All these little social niceties that we all do where we just lie.
Bro took the simping crown from Will Smith. Feeling the pressure from all the backlash, Akaash started interrupting his stand-up performances to talk about social media drama. As one fan wrote, I went to the 7 p.m. show last night and it was extremely awkward. He was clearly not processing the situation well and he ended the set 20 minutes early. He spent the first 10 to 15 minutes of the set talking about the controversy, how his wife has been loyal to him, and everything she has been saying is just jokes and is fine with him. No one in the crowd knew how to take this information, and I truly believe that the majority of fans there had no idea any of this was going on. This only made him spending like 1/3 of his set on it even more awkward. He then proceeded to jokingly call his wife a whore every time he brought her up, which was just not helping. I think it ruined his whole set and the mood never recovered, which I think is why he ended early. Other fans recalled a similar experience, and they all seemed to share the sentiment that Akaash was clearly rattled by the ordeal and his performance was suffering as a result. One fan even claimed that he asked beforehand if the crowd had heard about the drama and was relieved to find out most of them hadn't. Someone else recorded a recent performance Akaash did in which he tries to explain why he thinks his wife isn't what the internet says she is.
These narratives, people calling your wife a gold digger and all these other things, it's a shame. So I'm going to tell one story that I have never even told her, honestly. My wife and I met in 2014. I was not making much money. I was getting 20.
Okay, the plot thickens. They met in 2014. She was in college from 2011 to 2016, getting fucked. But somehow, some way, she was a virgin.
Hey, watch out.
$25 a night doing stand-up. I was on MTV shows that paid dog shit money. But then in 2018, I went flat broke. 34 years old, I probably made $4,000 that entire year. And we couldn't even afford the living room we lived in New York City. Me and her sleeping on a hardwood floor. I'm 34 years old. She's 25 years old. I'm looking at this girl like, man, you could go be with an Indian who's a doctor. I have nothing to give her.
You know what I'm saying? This, funny enough, not think about it, a decade gap? What the fuck? I didn't know that. it kind of makes it even worse, low key. But then it also makes it a little more understandable. See what I'm saying? Decade gap in age? Not even 2, 3, a decade though? The mindset ain't really mature, but that's what it is though. You're looking for a sugar daddy. They normally get played for fools like this. That's crazy, you know what I'm saying? The niggas that's always older trying to just chase the way younger bitches. It's normally the situation they find themselves in though, because ideally they're looking at you like you're just a sad older man. You know what I'm saying? It's a sad older man with money that they could use. So I'm saying I didn't know that they had a 10-year age difference. I thought they were like really closer in age.
It's just a light jacket. It's like October. We have nothing. So I hand her the jacket, and then she said, "What's this for?" I said, "You can use that as a pillow." And then she goes, "Well, what are you going to use?" And I said, "I'll figure it out." She handed me back the jacket. She goes, "You take this." And then she lay with her head on my chest and her arm around me the entire night. And I remember thinking in that moment, I don't know if I'm going to be able to marry this girl because I'm so broken. I'm in such a bad place, and it's a dark time in my life. But I know I will never find a girl that loves me this much ever again.
Now this paints the narrative of a girl who was loyal to the core to a man who was at his lowest moment, and therefore deserves the fruits of his success. But there is a few key details that he left out, because shortly after this story that Akaash explained of them sleeping on the floor, Jazelene did actually leave him, but then came back to him when his career was revived. Akaash says that he made nearly no money during the first.
So why the fuck would he do that? Weird ass sympathy for him. This nigga just made it seem like Shawty was holding him down, bro, when he was fucked up. She left this nigga and came back around when this shit actually took off. But I mean, hey, bro, you were 35, she was 25, bro. I mean, I'm probably was looking at that shit like, damn, bro, you are a grown ass man, bro. Like a grown ass man.
4 years of their relationship and then went broke in 2018. However, they both have publicly claimed that he was making a 6-figure salary in 2017.
He was getting a lot of work from MTV. Like his first show was Wildin' Out, and then he did Guy Code, and he was just like on a bunch of MTV shows, and he was able to like reach a 6-figure salary, which at the time was really huge for us. But all of the opportunities started to dry up. He was kind of aging out of the MTV bracket, and he wasn't really getting any attention from the industry. So he was pretty much losing all his income. And at the same time, I was working a really toxic job with like a toxic manager and like working till 2 a.m. and it just caused a lot of stress on our relationship.
I had like 7 MTV shows. I wasn't making crazy money. I was making like low 6 figures, but my girlfriend at the time, she moved into our place, and then all of a sudden, end of 2017, all the shows started suddenly getting canceled one by one. So I went from making like a low 6 figures, nothing crazy, but 6 figures in 2017 to 2018, probably making like $4,000 for the whole year. I'm not even exaggerating.
Jazelene actually did end up dumping Akaash during this dark time, sparked by what she claims was a fight between her and Akaash's mother. Then the two eventually got back together months later, and conveniently enough, Akaash's Flagrant podcast was just starting to blow up and was making $10,000 a month in Patreon revenue. Akaash and Jazelene finally decided to sit down and address all of the backlash on the Flagrant podcast. Andrew and the guys created this trial where they pretended to investigate Jazelene and ask her all of the tough questions that the internet is demanding answers to. What's funny is that everyone seems to be enjoying this besides Akaash. He is easily the least animated one throughout the pod and seems like he just wants to get this thing over with. Now, the two didn't say anything that we haven't heard before. Jazelene basically chalks everything up to being just a joke or exaggerated because most people don't contextualize her background and upbringing.
Have you ever heard of the repressed Catholic schoolgirl?
Never.
I was, yeah, you know. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was.
His Catholic school was in his living room. Imagine how repressed he was.
I was a repressed Indian girl that I didn't even watch Jersey Shore in high school because I felt it to be too inappropriate. So when I got to college, I'm like, oh my God, I can dress however I want. I can do whatever I want.
You can have a roster of frat boys.
But
what does a roster mean?
So it didn't actually translate to a roster. It just meant like 2 guys I was talking to and flirting with at the same time. That's it.
That's all.
Yeah.
And when you say hooking up, I think people
when
think you
I
meant...
mean up, I just meant making out. Again, like everything I say is so...
Hey, get the fuck. Who the fuck is believing that shit? Who the fuck is believing that shit? What the fuck? Who the fuck is believing that shit? For real? You was in college just making out with them niggas? They ain't tried nothing? Y'all ain't do Who would actually? Well, like I said, gang almost 50. You know what I'm saying? This shit probably register in his head, man. That's just crazy, bro. The age factor really does really click in. It kind of make things kind of shit, bro. Shit fucked up.
Amplified and hyperbolic because it's so like incongruous to who I actually am as a person.
Right. So you're saying you're a big old prude.
Yeah, literally.
Throughout the episode, Akaash is kind of bullying and teasing her constantly as if this is to prove that they do it to each other and it's not just a one-sided thing, even though on podcasts before this, he is typically more graceful towards her and is not just outright calling her a bitch.
Yeah. She's actually made a non-cooking ass bitch.
God, you could make that?
Schema.
Really?
This useless bitch.
You can't say this with all due respect, please. You gotta say it with all due respect. Well, I guess it's your
Well, I
wife.
thought the internet was right about everything.
No.
Golding a woman.
Yeah. Okay, so you can make all these things.
Yeah.
One of the more interesting moments was when the two discussed her bringing up and being so persistent about having an with her co-host's husband. And again, she said it was just a joke, but in the middle of that, she remained firm in her stance that she was a virgin, and even Andrew was surprised.
So if she had a body count, I would have been like, hey. Cut that. But because she doesn't, and I know how like innocent she actually is.
Oh, you are a virgin? That's real?
I was a virgin until I met him, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, good to know.
Yeah.
And if she wasn't, that body count thing, I'd have been like, what are we doing here?
Right.
Because I would have been insecure about it. But I can be, not that I'm so secure, but with that joke, I'm like so secure.
Oh, I absolutely would feel insecure.
And I think stupidly, I was like, oh, it's all of us. It's not like talking.
Yeah, that is stupid.
Yeah.
But the 87,000 dislikes on the video says that the viewers were not exactly believing whatever they were saying. Are they trying to convince us or themselves? Akaash still believes her body count is 1. At this point, someone needs to interview one of those frat boys. The fake laughing is almost corporate level. That being said, it seems like Akaash genuinely believes his wife is out of his league. He said publicly that she is far more attractive than any woman he thought he could ever get. When you feel lucky just to be with someone, you start letting things slide that would normally hurt you. You convince yourself the jokes don't mean anything, the disrespect isn't real, and the public humiliation is just content. Jazelene behaves like someone who assumes she'll be forgiven no matter what, so she has no reason to self-reflect on her behavior because her husband doesn't push back. You can only see where this will lead. Eventually, Akaash won't be able to supply her demands. The vacations aren't enough. The house isn't big enough. The clothes aren't expensive enough. The bedroom activities aren't enough. And that stuff is hard enough to deal with privately. Now he has to run the risk of her expressing all of these frustrations publicly on her TikTok and podcast. It seems that Jazelene is a product of a generation that confuses on-screen dysfunctionality with personality, treating toxic characters as an aesthetic role model with main character energy.
Like, the closest character to me is probably Maddie from Euphoria.
Maddie from Euphoria is a character best known for her engagement in toxic relationships and selfish personality, oftentimes emotionally harming other people to get what she wants. So it's interesting that Jazelene says she could only act as Maddie because she can only act like herself. Jazelene does not see Maddie as a problematic teenage girl. She sees her as a diva and an icon, and resonates with her as a result. If someone has a problem with her behavior, then they're just an incel, or a red pillar, or a misogynist. But if the pushback comes from someone that she loves, like her friend or her husband, then, oh, it's just jokes. It kind of reminds me of what's called the narcissist's prayer. That didn't happen, and if it did, it wasn't that bad. And if it was, that's not a big deal. And if it is, that's not my fault. And if it was, I didn't mean it. And if I did, you deserved it. During their initial podcast appearance, Fresh and Fit discussed the concept of men having leverage in their relationships. And while their opinions were a lot more skewed to men having the financial and emotional power over their partner, the core idea underneath it is much simpler: respect. Any normal person understands that a relationship is supposed to be 50-50, which doesn't have to mean equal income. It means equal effort, equal care, equal consideration. But in this marriage, Jazelene holds all the emotional power because Akaash fears she will just leave him for someone else. And the truth is, she could. She could get someone more successful, more handsome, and he will deal with all of her shortcomings. At some point, Akaash will have to draw a line, and only then will he truly figure out if his wife is just joking or not. I can only hope that this type of love never finds any of you. This relationship dynamic is eerily similar to Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, who put all of their extremely nonsensical and strange ways of justifying their broken marriage on full display. But if you
just like Brody said, bro, I pray that this type of situation don't never find none of y'all, bro, for real. This shit is insane to me, bro. But like I said, once again, realizing the age thing along the way, in a sense, like, it's still crazy, but it's just like, it kind of made some click that wasn't clicking before. You know what I'm saying? But shit, bro. That's the video, bro. I hope y'all enjoyed it, man. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you stay updated with every post I make. Shit, bro. All the links will be in the bio. We locked in, bro, and I hope y'all was entertained, because that's all I care about, is that y'all was entertained. And I'm going to see y'all in the next video.